Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Jojo Rabbit. And I have been chomping at the bit to see Taika Waititi's latest film that he wrote, he directed, he starred in, about a young boy who's dealing with the fact that there's a young Jewish woman living in his home during World War II in Germany, and he's a little Hitler youth, and he has imaginary friend Adolf Hitler, played by Taika Waititi. In what world did this film get made? And it did. And it's absolutely amazing. And I'm going to say this right off the bat right now. This is my number one film of the year so far. I was so anticipating this, and it's so unique. So uniquely Waititi that if you don't really vibe with his kinds of films, I don't know how you're going to feel about this film, but I work on such a high frequency with his tone, his voice, that this just clicked so much for me, and it was so meaningful, and I absolutely loved it. I loved every moment. And this film is hilarious. And there's things that should not be hilarious, like strings of where it's like, Heil Hitler, Heil Hitler, and just the act of 20 Heil Hitlers in 10 seconds throughout one particular sequence of film. And just these uncomfortable and awkward and bad things that are just so funny. And Waititi knows how to make it funny. He knows also when to lay the darkness in and the pathos and those emotional moments throughout, because this film balances that tone so well. There's particular sequences in this film that are gut-wrenching and just a gut shot. There's one particular scene in this film that I almost was on the verge of tears, honestly, because it hit me so hard. I know it was just taken aback so much by it, and it wasn't even just by what happened, how the filmmaking was, because the cinematography in this film is great. The framing, the camera work, and the moments that it takes you to that it shows you and doesn't tell you are all the more impactful. And they build up these particular little details throughout this whole entire film that become so important at moments that just hit so hard. And the story is poignant. Is this saying anything new that hasn't been said about the Holocaust and World War II at this point? Probably not. But I don't think many people have the ambition to really take this tone with this material and make it work so well. But Taika Waititi did it. And I love Hunt for the Wilder People. That was one of my top 3 films of that year. This is my number 1 as of right now. Waititi as Adolf Hitler is absolutely hilarious and so childish and just goofy, but doesn't lose the edge when there is an edge to him. And I really appreciated that about his performance. And now to gush over some other performances, because you have Roman Griffin Davis, who plays Jojo, is absolutely amazing. Taika Waititi really knows how to bring the best out of young actors and actresses, and he gives a mature performance. There's some times where he's really sparring with some of the adults, and it's really believable. And there's some really funny moments. There's one particular moment of fear when you first get introduced to Elsa, the young girl living in his home, and just how the camera work uses just these little things, and the fear that's on Roman Griffin Davis is so poignant. And then there's one other scene where he just has this rage in him, and you can feel every bit of it. Thomasin McKenzie, I absolutely love her. She's a wonderful young actress, and she is tough as nails, but vulnerable in so many ways at the same time, and you can just see the admiration that she has, every scene she has with Scarlett Johansson, these little smiles, but then this toughness where she doesn't take any of Jojo's shit, because she shouldn't, because he's a child trying to push these Nazi beliefs, and she's a human being, and she knows it, and she defends herself. Scarlett Johansson gives the best performance of her career, hands down. She was endearing and charming and lovely and just sassy and strong, and I loved every minute she was on screen. And she has some really ambitious choices in her performance, and they work so well, and I absolutely loved it. Sam Rockwell. I was expecting to go in this film just as an over-the-top caricature, but there's so many layers to his character, and there's some really poignant, great moments where it's like, this film deserves a lot of Oscar buzz. I did an awards buzz review for Sif Pop, so that should be coming up soon. But like Scarlett Johansson, Thomasin McKenzie, Roman Griffin Davis, Taika Waititi, and Sam Rockwell all deserve nominations in variety of Best Actor, Supporting Actress categories because they're amazing in this film. And Sam Rockwell shows why he's such an amazing actor. He can't say underappreciated actor anymore because he sure is getting the attention now. And Stephen Merchant, just for like this one sequence in this film, is so funny and goofy, but also really intimidating and unnerving. And it's just like, damn, you balance that act. And Waititi knows how to balance that tone, too. And then Archie Yates. This kid, though, is amazing and hilarious, and I absolutely love him in this film. He's Jojo's best friend. He's like, it's not a good time to be a Nazi. Like that little chubby kid with the black rimmed glasses in the trailer. Just like, he is a delight every time he's on screen. This film is a delight. This film is meaningful and impactful and emotional. Hits on so many different levels. You're not quite sure what's coming. You kind of think you do. You probably expect where this film's going, but then this film tells you, no, you don't. And that is something impressive. This is an impressive film. Taika Waititi, you go, sir. I'm going to own Jojo Rabbit the day it comes out and rewatch that right away because I love this film so much. But those are my thoughts on Jojo Rabbit. Let me know what you think. But thank you as always for supporting your Wasteland reviewer.